Once upon a time, in the depths of the ocean, there were two great underwater kingdoms. One was called Atlantica, ruled by a just and wise king named Triton, and the other was called Lemuria, ruled by a greedy and power-hungry queen named Nereida. For many years, Atlantica and Lemuria had been at peace, trading goods and sharing resources. But one day, Nereida became jealous of Triton's kingdom and decided that she wanted to expand her own territory by taking over Atlantica. Nereida began to build up her army, recruiting the fiercest sea creatures and arming them with powerful weapons. Triton, hearing of her plans, knew that he had to prepare for war. He also knew that he could not fight alone, so he called upon the other underwater kingdoms to help him. The other kingdoms, loyal to Triton, answered his call and sent their own armies to fight alongside Atlantica. The battle was fierce, with both sides fighting with all their might. The sea was filled with the sounds of clashing swords and the roars of sea creatures. Despite the odds stacked against them, Triton and his allies fought bravely. They used their knowledge of the ocean's currents and tides to outmaneuver Lemuria's army. The battle lasted for days, with both sides suffering heavy losses. In the end, it was Triton's strategy and leadership that won the day. Nereida's army was defeated, and she was forced to retreat back to her own kingdom. The other underwater kingdoms celebrated Atlantica's victory, and Triton was hailed as a hero. From that day on, Triton and his allies continued to live in peace, knowing that they had successfully defended their kingdom against an aggressor. And as for Nereida, she learned that the thirst for power can lead to one's downfall, and she vowed to never again start a war with her underwater neighbors. After the war, Triton and the leaders of the other underwater kingdoms met to discuss how they could prevent such a conflict from happening again. They decided to create a council of representatives from each kingdom who would meet regularly to discuss issues and resolve conflicts peacefully. Triton also proposed a trade agreement between the kingdoms so that they could continue to share resources and benefit from each other's strengths. The other leaders agreed, and soon Atlantica and the other kingdoms were thriving once again. Nereida, however, did not give up so easily. She continued to harbor resentment towards Triton and the other kingdoms, and plotted her revenge. She began to secretly build up her army again and sought out allies who would support her cause. Triton, sensing that Nereida was up to something, sent spies to Lemuria to gather information. When he learned of Nereida's plans, he knew he had to act quickly. He called upon his allies once again, and together they launched a preemptive strike against Lemuria. The battle was shorter this time, as Nereida's army was not as strong as before. She was captured and brought before Triton, who showed her mercy and offered her a chance to make amends. He invited her to join the Council of Representatives and work together towards a peaceful future for all the underwater kingdoms. Nereida, humbled by her defeat and impressed by Triton's leadership, accepted his offer. She became a valuable member of the council and worked tirelessly to build bridges between the kingdoms. Over time, she earned the respect and trust of her fellow leaders and was even appointed as Triton's successor when he decided to retire. And so, the underwater kingdoms continued to live in peace and prosperity, thanks to Triton's wisdom and Nereida's redemption. The memory of the war between Atlantica and Lemuria remained a cautionary tale, reminding future generations of the importance of cooperation and diplomacy.